So last week, we've been going through how to use the freedomrevolution.com, and we get to all the how-tos and where are they at, and then we had a challenge, let's go work with our customers. But I was chatting with Ron and I said, a lot of people that I'm talking to, they go through and they say, oh, that's great. I love those ideas. Oh, I love knowing, where all the shareables are. And oh yeah, I really have to do that. I really like learning that. I'm hearing these kind of comments, but if I asked, so did you do it? Did you go and connect with your customers? After all the flowery and all the, yeah, that's a great training, it's more often than not, no. I don't know why I haven't done it, Susie. I just haven't done it. So just know you're probably in the majority if you didn't get to do your customer care. But I'd really like to kind of sort out, why is that? And I started thinking of, Wendy Campbell wrote down 30 reasons why, they brainstormed in her team, 30 reasons why they love their Juice Plus business, just to kind of get them to going, to get their feet moving each day. And just the more I learn about customers and how important it is to have customers, I want us to have that same passion that we want to take care of our customers. And another thing that hit home this last week, I was working with 2 reps who haven't engaged really in about 10 years. And they said, I want to do this. I want to come back on board. And, what is that going to look like? So as we're talking, they said, oh, I never talk to my customers. And, I still have some of these customers after all these years, but I've never talked to them, but I don't want to call them because, what if they cancel? And anybody else ever have that feeling? I don't want to call my customer because what if they cancel? And it kind of struck me as funny that, okay, you've done absolutely nothing with your customer for, we couldn't figure out, 10, 12, 13 years. And those customers are still there. And you're still worried that if I call, they're going to cancel. So I want to just read to you a couple little things that came up. It gave some great statistics that loyal customers, and if you're not muted, you might want to mute. I'm hearing a lot of kind of rustling background noise.
That's me chewing my food, sorry.
It says loyal customers provide positive endorsements, right? Those referrals that we want, and online reviews. That could even be somebody posting on your Facebook page that can help businesses strengthen their brand. A loyal customer on average is 10 times more valuable than their first purchase. And I used that was when this rep was telling me, wow, look at this customer's been on there for 13 years and he's had 3 boxes shipped 3 times a year for 13 years. So look at the value of that. She did the work initially over a decade ago. And this is what they're saying. They're 10 times more valuable than their first purchase. Research shows that people often make purchasing decisions based on recommendations from family and friends rather than on advertising messages. 97% of customers will tell others about very good or excellent customer service experiences. So I have to think, wow, do I have 97% of my customers talking about my excellent customer service? 70% would spend more money with a company that has excellent customer service. So think about that. We have new product come out, or the Omegas or the Tower Garden. They are 70% more likely to try your new product if they're receiving excellent customer service. 24% will return to businesses 2 or more years after good customer service experience. Sometimes we have customers leave us and they come back, but they come back because they come back to you specifically because they are loyal to you because of your good customer service. And 59% would try a new company to receive better customer service. So think about that. 59% of the people out there might be looking for a nutritional help, an aid, and they're really getting no attention where they're at. And then all of a sudden they hear their friend or their family member talking about the excellent customer service that they're receiving from you. And that's another 59% of people that might want to give you a try. So I thought it was really interesting. And I think if we have enough reasons why, kind of the idea that Wendy Campbell had, why do we love our Juice Plus business? But why do we want to give spectacular customer care? I'd like to come up with a document of that, and then it can just kind of be a living, breathing document. And when you get ready to do your customer care, instead of us having that, let's just be honest for a minute. When you go to do customer care, tell me the truth, whether it's negative or positive. What are some thoughts or feelings that come up? You're going to have to just unmute yourself maybe and tell me what is your true gut feeling that happens when you get ready to do your customer care.
Well, I think we put it on a chore list. Do you know what I mean? I think we put it on a good grief list, and so and maybe we start to feel like, oh, you know what I mean? I don't know why we have that connotation. I think it's just kind of a non-appropriate habit that we've created, which is why I think we have to get creative and continue to have fun with it, and remember how beneficial it is, and that you've got to keep that buzz going, right?
Right.
Especially if you've fallen off. It was easy for me coming off of a couple of weeks of events to write thank you notes, to send messages. So I'm like, I can give myself all these gold stars right now, but what about 2 weeks from now?
Right.
When I finished my thank you notes, I went back because I was, so impressed with the cute thank you notes that I found in some of my ridiculous, what do you call those, puns that I was thinking of, that I was writing in my little notes and everything. And so I just decided I'm going to keep writing, and I'm going to write to the customers I never sent thank you notes to, because I, stole all of the Jake's ideas. And Jake, I found the Sesame Street stamps at the post office, and I found some other cute Celebrate stamps and everything, and ordered some things. And so it's a system in progress, but so I've created a little reward for myself. I made myself not go on to the next one until I made sure I verified that my contact information is correct for my Team Z, so I did create some whatever, but sorry for the long answer, but I think it's because we make it a negative somehow.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else make it a negative? I just realized I have my ear pods on, but they're not connected. Just give us some honest feedback. Do you love doing customer care, or do you feel like it's a chore or something you procrastinate on, or something that you're afraid might not end in a positive way? How do you really feel, Dar?
Well, I'm a connector. It's one of my natural desires to connect with people. So I also like efficiency. So I love to make really cute text messages to remind them and to thank them. So I do it all in text about their shipping. Are they ready? That what we learned in Team Z about how can I serve you, and following up is an act of love, and I'm on a mission from God. And so, but understand, Kirsten, I've been in the business for 18 years now, going on my 19th year. And so I've learned to love customer care and to value it. So Mondays are my day to connect with anybody who's ready for a shipment. So I feel that connection, and sometimes they respond to me and there's a conversation going on, which I love. So, but I'm inspired about considering sending thank you notes. But I did the deal last week when you asked us to, Susie, to put the customers into, I had 5 responses, and all 5 of them responded to that language that you gave us, the verbiage that you gave us. They all wanted to be put into the one simple change. So I like that idea. It's something different than what I'm used to doing, is just saying, hey, your shipment's ready. Are you ready? Or is there anything else you might need? Those kinds of things. So that was nice, having a different approach.
Great. And I was thrilled to see you did that, and I saw you checked it off. If you missed last week's and you want some new verbiage, we made a separate post about it, but Jake always has the recordings on there too. So does anybody else have a something they want to share? How do you feel, or do you do customer care? Last week we had some people just being transparent, saying, you know what, no, I'm not doing it, but I this is good, I want to do it.
I used to be fearful of what they would say, of the canceling of the orders. It was so silly. I really truly became a salesman because I stopped caring about I didn't really stop caring about my customers, but I stopped showing them that I cared about them when I stopped taking care of them after they placed their order, because I was fearful of them canceling their orders. And I look back on that and I just think that is the most ridiculous thing. But now I love taking care of my customers, and I try to do a really good job. I try to make a connection with them. In fact, I don't have it in here because I moved, kind of have a little sunny office in my new room. But I made a list of all my customers, and I have way too many customers. Oh my God, way too many customers to take care of. I'm trying to convert some of those into some reps. But I made a tracking sheet with all of my customers on it, and then 12 months, so that I want to connect with them every single month, whether it's sending them, I started sending out, like at Valentine's, I sent them a little heart. I can't remember what it was. And then last week, it was really cold here in Nebraska. We got some snow, so I sent everybody in Nebraska a hot chocolate complete recipe. I got a lot of conversation just out of that, out of people that I don't normally get conversation with. So your customer care doesn't have to be anything that carries a monetary value. It can simply be just sending them a message, letting them know that you're thinking about them, sending them something of value. And there's some really great, in the past, there were some really great mocktail recipes. I don't know if those are still around, but I did save some to my computer. I can try to remember to post those on Facebook, on Team Ignite.
They're on the customer care page too, I think.
Are they still? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And thanks for bringing that up. It doesn't always mean we have to do something monetary or whatever, just something quick like that shows, hey, I'm thinking about you, and adding value to their day. I love that. Anybody else want to share before we do our little activity? Go ahead, Lisa.
I also have here, like Jake. Sorry, is someone else talking?
That's okay.
Go ahead, Jackie.
Yeah, that's my big thing. But also, I think I have a lot of embarrassment because I haven't done customer service in the past. And so just initializing that again, because I haven't done it for so long. And also, I'm an introvert. And so, calling someone, that really unnerves me a lot. And so I like the text ideas. Those are great. I like that. I can do that. So these are all great ideas. I appreciate and thank you for sharing those.
Jackie, I have an idea for you. You might want to change the verbiage a little bit, but I think I heard this from Jill Herman, that when you haven't done very good customer care, you can reach out to your customers and say, oh my God, I totally suck. I have just sucked at taking care of you, and I am so sorry. And really just take ownership of that. And something of that nature. And I've done that, and people have laughed and said, it's okay, Jake, we know that life is busy. But I'm like, it's not okay, because I really do care about you. So, maybe something of that nature.
I did something like that in a customer letter one year, just that, hey, it's the beginning of the year. I really want to do better. Just be sure, if you put yourself out there and say, I'm changing my habit, I value, but then they never hear from you again. That's not very good. So make sure you have a plan of something. And, we had another training here where a person said, when you receive those preferred customer genealogy forms, if you even just print that off, and because they're saying by the end of the month, they want to show that, just kind of highlight each person, each time you send them a text or you invite them to something, you go to coffee with them, whatever you're doing with them, highlight, cross them out, etc. And by the end of the month, if you will see, did you touch a lot of your customers, all of your customers? You can also do that with your team, looking at your team of who, especially team that are just what we now call a partner, which used to be a dealer, or a partner plus, a direct distributor, it used to be called. Those people are really more your customers than anything else. So, be aware of that. Do we have anybody else that wants to share before we move on to our activity? Michelle?
Yeah, I wanted to add something because I've noticed this has been happening to me frequently actually. I know customer care is uneasy sometimes, but not even when their order's getting ready to ship, just reach out to them, see how they're doing. Because I've had multiple people struggle getting Juice Plus into their kids' bodies. And so I shared some tricks and tips on that, and now they're super happy. And if I wouldn't have reached out to them, they may have discontinued their product just for that simple reasoning.
And
Absolutely.
Michelle is doing such amazing customer care. She's already signed up how many new reps this month, Michelle? 3?
No, I think it was
It's been 5.
Awesome.
Wow.
Very cool.
So to the point, Jake, first of all, I am, try not to hold it against you that you have so many customers that you don't know what to do with all of them.
I know, we all felt sorry.
It's a
for
rough.
her.
I know that sounds terrible. It's hard to take care of that many customers, though. I tell you what, it's really.
I know. I have the same trouble counting all the money in my wallet, right?
What's that?
I have the same trouble counting all the money in my wallet, right? It just won't fit. Anyway, but to your point, 2 things that I took away from my contacts were that so at first, like my first month, I was really kind of focused on that structure and trying to sign up. I was approaching people saying, you should be a Juice Plus partner. And I was not telling them about Juice Plus. I mean, they thought I was just crazy. And so I didn't do a good enough job to say maybe the first 30 days of just trying to share, just trying to be present, to share whatever. So it kind of took a month to kind of go back a little bit. But I left Omaha, and my mom and I talked, and she's, my mom's a very plan, dot your I, cross your T's. What's our strategy? Are we signing these people up under me or under you? I'm like, Mom, we're actually not signing anybody up today. We're just creating curiosity, and we'll count our money later with Jake. but I'm like, no, that's not what it's about. And I said, in terms of what makes sense, quite frankly, I don't know. Whatever we sign up today is fantastic. Whatever we share today is fantastic. But point being is, some of my follow-up today I did, this weekend, it not only, I want to share more about Juice Plus with them. I want them to be excited about Juice Plus. That's my goal. So what they choose to do with that is to a certain extent beyond our control. We're just trying to leave a really favorable impression so that the next time, they're equally happy to see us, and who knows where the next time will lead. But also too, calculating, as being my mother's daughter, is that, I knew if I got those emails to her before church on Sunday, that she was going to bump into a lot of those people, and a lot of those people were going to say, it was really great to get this message from Kirsten. And so it was creating that conversation so that it could continue to happen naturally for her, because I would down the road like to sign up a lot of these folks. I keep kind of going back to what Susie and Jen have taught me. It's who are they going to naturally come to and share information with, and that's how we would make that decision ultimately. But a lot of the people said, hey, what do you do with this complete? What did you put in these smoothies? What are in these protein balls? So it left the door open. This was accidental. And so it left the door open because I truly, after driving home, couldn't remember specifically who said, hey, could you please send that to me? So it was really cool to say, hey, a lot of conversations started. Many partiers asked me for these recipes. So it was a great way to follow the Team Z of not asking them to do anything, just saying, hey, many people ask, here it is, boom, that's it. So it was an easy kind of a gimme, like a low-hanging fruit follow-up. But again, to plant the seed of, they might say, what was this? Or do you know what I mean? It might leave some curiosity for them to continue to ask questions, both for me and a potential future teammate. Oh, and my second thing with other feedback I heard too, this is just for all of us to think about, is one of the things I heard when I was back, I had a friend join me for dinner and a party and potential partnership conversation. And she said, hey, I invited our other friend to come. And he said, gosh, all that stuff Kirsten's doing with nutrition and fitness and all that juice stuff and everything, I wanted to come, but I was really intimidated. And I was like, yeah, that's okay. Oh, really? I'm like, okay, I'm just fake it until I make it, but, and so that was kind of interesting that while we're trying to be inspirational, we're still vulnerable too, just like everybody else. And so sharing that vulnerability, so important, especially as he was probably talking about social media, so important. So I think we can shut the door on customer care pretty quickly if that's how we're coming across.
Susie, you're muted. Let me unmute you. I can't unmute you. There you
Right.
go.
No, nobody's going to be relating to a perfect person. So even when we're having interactions with our customers, if they're struggling, just the way Michelle could say, oh my gosh, you know, you're not the only one struggling to get your kids, you know, this has happened before. Because if we say, oh, everybody likes the gummies, I can't believe you won't, you know, your kid won't eat the gummies, then you're basically saying, what's wrong with you? You know, so just giving them tools and tips along the way. Well, Jake, if you don't mind, you said you would go ahead and play secretary this morning. What I'd really like to do, team, is just come up with a list. Maybe we have our top, we'll see how prolific we are. If we can come up with the top, I don't know, 8, 10, 12, 15 reasons why should we do customer care. So if you want to put a number by each one, Jake, just so we know how we're doing. And basically the first one I shared that I already read all those statistics about was that loyal customers provide endorsements or referrals. So I'll kick it off. That's one that I had. And then if you have one, just make sure you unmute yourself and just give it to us. Michelle, basically, what was yours? Think about that. What did you just say?
Providing good information or tips and tricks.
I feel like you're telling me that great customer service was going to result in a reduction of problems, really.
Yeah. Yep, that's a better way of saying it. Thanks.
I think the one that I've always relied on is they don't care about what you know until they know about you, that you care.
Right.
So they'd be more open to listening to anything you have to share when they know you care.
Right.
I think that's got along with, you know, a lot of my Bible study that I've done lately has been about the Apostle Paul, and the way he approached people was basically meeting them where they were and building relationship first before they became curious about anything else. And that just so reminds me of everything we've learned through the years from Juice Plus.
Right. Actually, put that as number 4, Jake, that it builds relationships.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's very close to what Jackie had, and this is Lisa. I was just going to say people might not remember what you say, but they always remember how you made them feel. So just following up with people makes them feel so good.
That's good. Thanks, Lisa.
One thing I like to do is to really get to know my customers and to know what they like to do in their own lives. And I have one customer in particular I'm trying to make contact with. She and I have been playing texting games here, but she loves cookbooks and she loves recipes. So I like to contact her in between her orders because we're just good friends. And this has really given me good food for thought here. But I'm going to ask her what recipes she's tried lately or if she's gotten any new cookbooks. And I have another lady that fell. And so just contacting her from time to time, seeing how she's doing, and just really getting to know my customers.
Getting to know your customers so that you can provide more value for them.
Exactly.
Is that okay?
That's good, Susie.
I think providing good this kind of goes on to what she was just saying. You know, a lot of people don't want to look for the resources or the information with good recipes, and when they have that, the tip of their fingers, because you provided it for them, will enable them. Well, it's obviously going to provide them with good information, but then they're going to want to try some of our recipes too. I don't know, the convenience of our resources, I guess. something along those lines.
And that they're tried and proven,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right?
And also being consistent in introducing them to new products.
Right. They're more likely, remember that article I read at the beginning, they're more likely to try a new product if you're doing good customer care.
I have to say something. This is more of a story than, what you're going to write down. But so my daughter had her basketball party last week, and we all went together and purchased a little something for the coaches. Well, I know her coach is kind of trying to eat clean for the most part. So I put a little package together so that Rainey could Juice Plus information and some shakes and stuff in there. And she got home and she was so extremely happy because she's trying to eat clean. She had no food in her house. She didn't want to cook, but she wanted a healthy meal. And all she said was, "Thank you, because now I can provide myself with a healthy meal at the convenience of my fingertips just because I shared a little."
Right.
And she's already a raving customer that's not even a customer yet. So
Wow.
I'm excited
Wow.
for her. I just
To come. That's good. How about
Susie?
from that article in the beginning, they basically were saying something about, it's easier to retain or customer retention is easier than customer acquisition. Do you guys agree in that? I mean, think how many resources Eric Johnson's telling us a lot of times they don't even respond to us until the 7th time. And we do all that time and all that effort and get them to events and we do things and then they become a customer. Well, if we just keep them a customer, that's so much easier than doing all of that.
Something that hasn't been mentioned yet, Susie,
Mm-hmm.
that is primary, and that is building trust with people by being vulnerable. When they trust you and you've got that relationship, like Bobby said, you're learning about them, but you're also able to let yourself be vulnerable, like Jake had said, that builds trust.
Right.
And because they trust you, then they will give you referrals and they might even join your team.
Right.
Which has happened to me. A lot of my team had become good friends first.
I feel like what's coming out of what you're saying, you build that trust and not only you get to know them, but they're seeing what your mission and your values are. Yeah. You are being a good representation of what you really believe. If we say our goal and our mission is to inspire healthy living, but we don't do anything, are we really representing our mission and our values? So that is all got to be around the trust. I absolutely agree with that.
Well, and Susie, you try not to be super self-conscious about everything you're putting on social media, and you can't take everyone's comment about, oh, that's intimidating. You can't take that stuff too seriously.
Right.
But the post that I think you shared a couple days ago about chia seeds and the nutritional information, and coincidentally, I pulled the monthly themes from the Healthy Living Revolution monthly themes, and for February, one of the smoothies recipes was Razzle Dazzle, the raspberry with the chocolate complete, and chia seeds and almond milk, I think. And so, I was putting approximate nutritional information together. When I had to add like the carbs and the chia seeds, I thought, oh geez, I'm gonna lose everybody, but then, so I didn't, chia seeds just not something I've explored. And when I saw that, I thought, that's awesome. I wish I would have had that information. So that's a good little nugget to circle back and think who was there, who had those smoothies. Hey, FYI, did you know that the chia seeds in this? I don't know. It's just a good thing to have. Mm-hmm. And you're right. I mean, I thought twice about that. I might have just posted something and I thought about, do I want to piggyback right away with that? But I don't know. For me personally, that's some really good information. That's really nutrient packed. And so I felt like, gosh, I can't not share that.
Right. I feel like what you're saying too is you just need to be transparent that way that, oh my gosh, I'm just learning all this stuff too. I have no idea if you knew this about chia seeds, but I thought this was awesome. So I'm passing it along instead of preaching to them, like, that smoothie thing I sent you, see, you know what I mean? It comes across two different ways that we don't have to be the know-it-alls, but we are certainly the messenger to go out. Does anybody have anything else? I have one main one that I'm thinking to end with, but why don't we go through here and just
I have one.
want to read these 9 things that we already have? Or Jake, did you say you already have one?
I have one.
Okay.
I think it just really feels good to take care of people, to,
Ooh, I
to
love
provide them with really good care. It feels good.
Feels good. You mean to us?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it feels good to them.
Right.
Yep. You want me to read these off? Is that what you just asked me to do?
Yeah, I would just like, just so we hear what's all here.
Sure.
And then if anybody has something else, we can certainly add.
Sure. Number 1, loyal customers provide referrals and endorsements. 2, great customer service results in a reduction of problems. I'm going to put reduction of problems, questions, and concerns.
Right.
3, they don't care about what you know until they know that you care. We'll be more open to hearing you. And then I just tagged on Lisa's recommendation of people may not remember what you said, but they always remember how you made them feel. 4, it builds relationships, and we are a relationship business. 5, getting to know your customers so you can provide more value and resources for them individually. They're more likely to try new products when good customer care is provided. 7, customer retention is easier than customer acquisition. 8, it builds trust. 9, we represent our mission and values by taking good care of our customers. And 10, it feels good to us and them.
I think we're all quite brilliant. I love this list. Does anybody have anything that you're still feeling? Does this motivate you if you got up? Dar mentioned Monday's her customer care day. What if she got up and she read this list every time before she did her customer care? It changes your mindset. What we're doing is changing our mindset. We don't want to have a negative connotation around taking care of our customers. We want to say, oh my gosh, I'm going to do this, and I'm creating these 10 things right here for myself and my customers.
What's missing on this list is they may join our mission. They may become a partner with us.
Absolutely. Opens doors.
Another thing too I was thinking of is that when we do really good customer care, it's not gonna always be like that one rep that you have, Susie, that hasn't talked to this customer in 12 years. People aren't gonna stay on the product for the most part.
Right.
So the better care that we can give them, the longer they're going to be putting Juice Plus in their bodies.
Yeah.
The longer that they put Juice Plus in their bodies, the less likely, or the more likely they're going to be able to prevent diseases that they couldn't have prevented without it. Diseases and healthcare or health concerns.
Absolutely. And this kind of goes along with it. I got this from an article that I read, that when you do great customer care, it elongates the life of any business. Today, only 4 out of every 100 businesses last through the 10-year mark. Only 4 out of every 100. That's a massive 96% failure rate. When you ignore the needs of your customers and you don't focus on going out of your way for them, you're cutting short the potential for longevity in business. With so many obligations and responsibilities, if you're serious about your business, you have to focus on the core, your customers, because without them, you have no business at all. I thought, wow. And that's why I say it's even our partners and our partner pluses. They really are customers too. And, we might look and go, oh, I looked at, I've got 20 people on my team and 15 of them are just partner plus. You know what? Those 15 partner plus, they give you stability. They give you a paycheck. They're bringing in a lot of customers that you wouldn't have known before. Just think if they each have 3 customers and you didn't know those. So we love them no matter where they're at, but treat them more like a customer. Print off when you have your reports and say, wow, when's the last time I talked to to that person and ask them how they're doing on their Juice Plus. Are they part of the customer page? Did they know of events in their areas and things like that? So, but hey, we are almost 40 minutes into our meeting, but I feel like this has been really productive. Are you guys feeling good with this? Is this a list that, I see Lisa says she has to leave, but she wants this list.
Yeah, I think it's been great. You know what I can do is I can add it to Facebook Ignite in the file section where people can add on to it.
Mm-hmm. Knowing Jake, she'll probably put it in some beautiful graphic because, you know, she's good.
Well, I can do that too, but I'd like to have more of a complete list before I put the effort into that.
I think it's pretty complete. What did we end up with? 12, 13?
13. I think we can come up with more.
Okay.
I got to get my thinking cap on.
As you're thinking, you know, or as you do your customer care, I really hope you listen to this today. And remember, the goal was last week, we were going to reach out and touch at least 5 of our customers. Number one thing we want to do is make sure they are in One Simple Change Equals Transformation. By the way, we'd also decided we're not going to have a separate shred group. So those of you who were helping with the shred group before, you know, or maybe you want to take on, say, hey, I'll post something about drinking water once a week, or I'll post a whole food recipe, or, you know, something like that. Be sure that you have a presence in One Simple Change Equals Transformation, something that brings value to the group. And remember, everybody's on different places. It doesn't mean that people have to be, our whole thing is about getting more whole foods in their body. So be careful. We don't want to make them feel they can only eat this, so they can only eat that, or let's celebrate them getting especially more plant food in their body, because everybody's at different levels. And we don't want it to be like Kirsten, where people go, oh my gosh, you know, I can't be around those Juice Plus people because they only eat 3 things.
I had a gal dive over her grocery cart one time at the grocery store. It was just before Super Bowl. I didn't even look at her cart. I was saying hello to her, and she dove over her cart and said, "Don't look at what I'm buying.
Yeah.
Don't judge me." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she says, "It's for a Super Bowl party." And I'm like, "Man, I am not the food Nazi. I tell you what, you can eat what you want to eat."
That's happened to me. And also on the flip side, that if I'm out at a restaurant and I'm just like having a really cheap meal, all of a sudden I feel like, oh, you know? Or my kids will tease me. They're like, because Culver's is a downfall, and they had a Culver's here. It's like this burger place. And so Sydney was laughing one day. She says, I'm going to take a picture of that and post it on Facebook, that look at the Juice Plus lady. She's eating a Culver's meal. And then later I thought, you know what? The Juice Plus lady should be able to eat whatever the heck she wants. Kind of 80-20, right? So look at me. Do I look like I'm eating a perfect diet?
Well, and somebody posted something one time about, you know, it's okay if you fall off the horse to get back on, you know? And so, you know, and I mean, we've all read the whole social media thing. Y'all post when you're having a good day. Rarely do we post the bad days or whatever. And wouldn't it be a bad idea to post the lessons learned from falling off the horse? Maybe wait till you get back on, but, you know, whatever you feel good about doing. But, you know, kind of sharing that vulnerability and whatnot is just something I'm going to be mindful of for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, it's a really great opportunity too to say, you know what, you can share your Juice Plus, hold a handful of Juice Plus along with your Big Mac, and just say, you know, thankfully I've got this for the days that this is what I eat.
Yeah, you got to be real. I posted something on Facebook this weekend with my vodka, my water, my shake, and my pills. Guys, I had so many people reach out to me asking what I was doing. I'm like, I'm just recovering from a hangover.
But that's real. And so you probably had real people reach out instead of going, oh my gosh, all she eats is lettuce off her tower garden. I can't do that, you know? So that's awesome. Well, hey, everybody, I sure appreciate you just pitching in. I feel like I got to hear a little something from everybody today, except Bobby Coleman. Bobby, are you in your police car right now? Can you not talk?
No, I'm here. I just turned it off so you don't have to hear my radio chirping all the time.
Okay, well, I just wanted to acknowledge, I see you. Glad you're on here this morning, and we'll see you in Phoenix. So, all right, everybody, go make it a great day. And remember, every week at a minimum, reach out, help those 5 customers, go back through Team Ignite if you need a little refresher from last week or needed some verbiage, and we got your back. We can help you, but remember why you're doing this. That's really good. Those were really, really good things you brainstormed. That was awesome. So I'll see you later.
Good stuff, folks.
Yeah, really good.